So there's a lot of conversation around, should you date a single mother or not? There's both sides of the fence, like people that are absolutely against dating single moms, and then people that are either open to it or all for it. I am somebody, just to throw this out there, I am for dating a single mother. I'm going to tell you the pros to doing this, because there are pros to dating a single mom. And instead of saying the word con, I'm going to use red flags instead, because there are red flags to dating single mothers that you need to be aware of. And the guys that are strictly against single moms likely dated a woman that that had one or several of these red flags. I'm not here to argue with single moms about why men should or shouldn't. This is strictly for men. If you're a single mom and you're in a bad situation right now, you're living with your own consequences. But us men, we do not have to. There are single moms that are fucking awesome, and then single moms that you want to avoid. I'm going to help show both of these in this video. Now, before I get into this, I do want to say, if you want my help when it comes to understanding women for free, getting better at pickup, dating, or relationships, I have 2 free downloads for you in the description. Both of those will help you, again, for free. Or if you want my help personally, you can sign up for email coaching or a one-on-one video call with me. Again, link in the description. Let's go over the pros to single moms first. Again, this is coming from somebody that wants kids in the future. So if you want kids, or maybe you don't want kids, but you're open to your partner having kids, you're okay with kids, then this is where this part of the video would be for you. Now, again, if you're a younger man or you're somebody that just absolutely hates single moms, this ain't for you. Pros to dating single mothers is, one, because she has kids, you get practice on learning how to be a father. So I'm a single male right now. I want kids, and whenever I'm around other people's kids, like let's say at the gym, if they're petting my dog, I get to interact with these kids, and I get to have a little bit of joy and fun with these little children. Because remember, when we were kids, we were growing up, we didn't know anything about the world. So I get practice being a dad when it comes to learning how to handle and just parent, I guess, for lack of better words, children, because that's something I want to do. I want to be the best dad. I never had a dad growing up, so I personally would want to be if, let's say, I get married to this girl, I would want to be the stepfather to these children that I never had. If your girlfriend or wife is co-parenting and she's still in communication with the ex and he's actively in these kids' life, that's even better, because if these kids have a father figure that's active in their lives and that's doing a good job, these kids are going to grow up to be raised properly by mom and dad, so they're not going to be so much of a headache for you. So that's a big pro to dating a single mom, is you get practice before you even become a parent. The other pro is that if this woman has kids with somebody else, and she's likely going to be open to eventually wanting to have a kid with you at some point down the road, if you guys make it far enough in that relationship. So if you want kids, you guys are obviously going to have that discussion at some point in time. And if this woman already has, let's say she's got 1 or 2 kids. If she's got 2, she might be open to a third. If she's got 1 kid, she's likely going to be open to a second one, because I think anything after 2, that's where things get really expensive. But if she's got 1 kid or 2, she's likely going to be open to it. Now, if she's pushing 3 or 4, then that's where I don't know if she's going to be open for that. But again, that's a conversation for you to have with your girlfriend or your significant other, okay? So pros are, you can have kids likely, and you're going to get the training basically to be like a stepdad. The other pro is this woman is likely going to be mature enough to where she's not going to want to go out and club and party and rage all the time. Now, I'm not saying these women don't exist. I have seen several single moms that are younger, in their younger 20s, that still go out and party and go to bars and get drunk. And I'm like, who the fuck is watching your kids? Who is doing that? How do you have time to do that when you're a mom? So I'm 30, so the women that I date can be, at this point in time, can be older or younger. So a lot of women that I'm going to start dating that are older are likely going to have a kid or 2. But women in their 30s have different priorities than women in their 20s. 30s, that's where the woman's like, okay, I had my fun. I'm kind of hitting like that wall because women's looks start degrading the older they get. That's where she more than likely is going to want to find a man that she can like settle down with. Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% of the case, but priorities in men and women shift over time. So when I was younger, I wanted to go out and just fuck every hot girl I can. Now, like, sex is great, but I've had enough of it to know it all feels the same. And once you fuck the same girl long enough, you kind of get bored. And I would rather have a girl with the wonderful personality that I enjoy being around over a girl that I'm just, that I'm just fucking. That's just what I'm looking for personally. And again, when you get older, if you're a younger man watching this, you're going to notice your priorities are going to change the older you get. Okay, so women, if I date women that are my age or older, they're going to be more on the more mature side. They're likely not going to want to go out and fucking party and rage and get shit-faced like they used to. I'm not saying those girls don't exist, but again, the women that I'm looking for won't do that, okay? So those are 3 pros, I think the more important ones to dating a single mom. It's 3 pros. That she might want to have another kid, so you get your kid eventually. You're getting practice to be a dad, so you get that experience of being able to hang out and have fun with a kid. You just get that. Children are wonderful. Children are so fun. They're wonderful. So you get that practice, and then the woman's not going to want to like go out likely and rage and party all the time. So you don't have to deal with all that like partying and bullshit and whatnot. Because I'm someone, I like being in bed by like 8 or 9 personally. I last time I went out till like 11 o'clock, I regret it the next day. I was like, dude, that sucked. I got home late. I didn't want to do that. She's likely going to want to be like a homebody, for lack of better words, too. Now, we're going to touch on the red flags. These are red flags because there are single moms out there, and I kind of just touched on one of them already when I talked about the partying. There are single moms out there that are living with the consequences of having children. And we need to talk about some of these consequences or red flags that you need to look out for. So this is all off the top of my head. So the first one is going to be if you're with a woman that has kids and she's constantly going out and partying, drinking, or doing drugs. And it's kind of like, who the fuck is watching your kids? Who's taking care of your kids? Like, it seems like you have kids, but you didn't want to have kids, but you were too scared to get an abortion. So now you have a kid and what? You're being a terrible parent. If you're looking to date a single mom and she's partying all the time or often, I would avoid that. Now, your age might determine if you want to get involved with that or not. So again, if you're younger, in your 20s, you might be cool dating a mom that goes out and parties all the time. But I think if you're younger, you likely don't want to date a single mom to begin with. Now, another red flag is if she has this only applies if she has 2 kids or more. Let's say she's got 2 kids. She's got 1 kid with 1 dad and another kid with another dad. So 2 kids from 2 separate fathers. Or let's say she's got 3 kids. 3 kids from 3 separate fathers. This is where women are going to push back on me, but it needs to be addressed. Why do you have 2 kids with 2 different men and those relationships failed? The woman is likely the problem. If 2 relationships with 2 guys failed, the woman is likely to problem. That's just I don't really know how to explain it at the moment as to why that is, but there's a reason why those 2 guys aren't around. So that's a red flag, because if those 2 relationships with those 2 men have not succeeded, what are the chances it's going to succeed with yours? Not likely. Now, if she's got 2 kids, 1, 2, 3 kids with 1 guy, that's fine. How long did that relationship last? If she's got, a kid with 1 guy and they dated for a long time, that's what we're looking for, because that's a woman that can stay committed to somebody. That's a big green flag. But if she's got kids with different guys, the reason why is because she is likely the problem. She is likely the reason why those relationships did not work out. A common denominator, I think, is what I'm looking for here. I know how to explain what it is I'm trying to say, but I'm not able to articulate it in a way to make sense on this video. So I'm going to get some pushback on this part of the video. I know it. Now, another red flag is, again, if she's got multiple kids with multiple different guys. Child support and alimony, that's a thing. There are women out there that have been married to men So if they've had 2 different marriages and they've had kids with both of these guys, if she divorces these men, these guys, because of the laws right now, I don't know if things are changing or not in the future, but these guys are likely going to be paying child support to this woman. And what are the chances that this woman is using all of this money that she's getting from these men to just take care of her kids? Likely very little, because I don't know anything about the rules, so I can't speak too much on this, but I have seen videos of other older men talking about this online, and these guys are just getting raked over the coals with how much money that they're fucking paying for child support until this kid's 18, and the woman, she's getting so much of it that she doesn't need to spend all of that on the kid. So this woman is basically having a full-time job by just sitting around doing nothing but going out, getting married to men, having kids, and divorcing them. So those are 3 red flags to look out for. If I come up with more in the future, then I will likely film another video on it. I guess another red flag too would be if she's got like kids that are just super disrespectful to you. I think actually, yeah, disrespectful. So if her co-parenting situation is like, let's say, dad is non-existent in these kids' lives, well, women are not as strict as men are. This is why there are statistics that show that single mothers tend to have children with lower education, higher crime rates, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm a prime example. I've been to jail and I didn't go to college. I was raised by a single mom. My dad wasn't in my life to put that structure and rules on me. So this is why I film videos helping men become better men, because I had to learn all this shit the hard way. So if she's a single mom and she's not co-parenting at all with dad, those kids are not going to know what it's like to have a male figure. They're likely going to be very disrespectful. I can't say that's going to be the case, but they're likely going to be a little disrespectful towards you. And if that's the case, if these kids are causing way too much stress in your life, I think that's something that you want to consider walking away from. Because if a woman has kids, we want the woman to be easygoing and easy to get along with. And I get kids, they're younger, they don't really know what they're doing. But if they're causing more stress in your life than joy, that's just something that you have to consider when you're in a situation like that, and if you want to continue dating someone like this or not. Because if you stay involved with a woman whose kids just treat you like shit and they cause problems, you're allowing that into your life. You're allowing that to happen. So if you are in a situation like that, you get to live with those consequences of your own actions. So if you like this video, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you want to add anything to this video about pros and maybe red flags that I didn't address, please leave them in the comment section down below, man. I and other guys would love to see it. And again, my offers, if you want my help for free, I've got 2 free downloads for you in the description down below, and then you can get my help personally with either an email coaching or you can speak to me directly for an hour, link in the description. And with that being said, guys, if you like this video, check out this one right here, man. You're going to love that one as well. And gentlemen, hey, I'll see you in the next one.